Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. This is the morning show, Stock Market TV. Spencer, JC, Steve, everyone is back today. Sean's back from his trip into the Redwood Forest, wherever he went. Kenny's back from Iceland. I hear he may have had like a near-death experience or something close to it. I don't know. We'll talk about it. So we'll have Sean stop by. Kenny Blake will stop by. Stephen Whitesell will stop by. A spontaneous visit from Stephen Whitesell. Those are always fun. He'll stop by at about around 9:10 or so. What should we talk about? Based on my Twitter mentions, I think we should just spend an hour talking about insider trading and nothing else, because that got some people fired up yesterday. So I don't know. I don't think we actually want to talk about that. There are things. Markets are moving. Obviously, I got the guys here going to break it all down for us. They have the charts. They have the goods. So let's chop suey. Get to it. I don't know.
All right, dude, the animals. I think the pets. That's the trade.
Oh, we're back on the animal thing?
No, I came to the realization yesterday. I got to talk to Mackie about this. This is one of the the true, I mean,
because blue owl, so you want to buy the owl?
No, not those animals. Like the animals, like the pets, like not naming companies after animals. We're past that. That's not where we are in the cycle.
Oh, okay.
It's the pets. Remember the guy that was talking about making they were making kosher food for the dog for Passover?
Pets are a mega trend, but pet stocks have been bad for a long time. So,
dude, I'm telling you right now, it's like it's got to be in that category with brides, like brides to be. I mean, they get them. I mean, the premium that they're attaching to everything because the brides will pay whatever, or the bride's father or husband or whatever. Somebody's paying for it, and she's going to get what she wants. You're going to say no to her? What about the baby stuff? Yeah, you're going to save $100 to get the less safe car seat as a mother? No. They're going to get them. It's a hustle. It's a racket. I've seen it before, and I'm telling you, the dog situation, it's a racket.
I don't know. Strazza, have you seen these pets? Like
pets are bigger than both of those because you got to pay for these guys all the time. Your marriages, you get married once.
Have you seen the? Have you seen the
three? Yeah, you're right. This is a recurring one.
Have you seen the Chewy? They don't look good.
No, they haven't looked good for a long time.
Yeah.
Dude, I bought pharmaceuticals for the dogs.
Yeah.
All right.
I got the dogs on Ozempic now.
Is this pharma? This is pharma. This isn't.
You've seen these English bulldogs? These English bulldogs need the Ozempic. They can't even breed these things.
Like the big pet health codes, so like in the pharma space, so like IDEX or Zoetis, I mean, they've been some of the dogs in the space for a long time now. But this one does look good. This is a biotech, though, JC.
Dude, this provides like all the organic food for the dogs, right?
Okay.
To make sure the dog's eating organic. You're getting the grass-fed meat here, you know, like this is the bougie, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading about it.
Hims and hers for pets, you know, get them some action.
Vaccines and things of that nature, yeah.
I'm telling you, I gotta put the animals in there with the brides to be and the baby racket. I'm telling you, what do you guys think? Telling you, there's something there. You guys think I'm crazy?
This is like farm animals too, though.
Yeah, man. Dude, these horses with their tranquilizers, you know, the kids these days are taking some of these horse tranquilizers. I don't think that's healthy. But the horses, man, yeah, man. These are big animals. They need a lot of stuff.
Fibro.
Great name.
In over 95 countries. Good one, JC. Yeah, Sam sent me this yesterday. I bought some.
Yeah, dude, Sam loves this one. I mean, it's come a long way, so it's tough to get. But I just wanted to just point it out for everybody. You know, what's on my mind this morning is the rackets. Where are the rackets? How do I benefit from some of these rackets? So I want to talk to. Can we talk to Mackie about that? Can we do a?
I don't want to talk about insider trading anymore, though. It's such a loser conversation. Like it really is. I don't want to poke the political people anymore. It's just there's
like people are like surprised that
it's
like
low intelligence conversation.
Dude, people are surprised that politicians are taking advantage of the system to make money for themselves and their friends. Can you believe that? Wow, that's crazy. That's never happened before.
We don't have to rile them up about it, you know.
And then what about? Hold on. And then what about like? You know, the actual insider trading, like, oh my God, like this is the first time this has ever happened, Steve. Can you believe it? Wow, what are we gonna do? We should just quit. We should just quit. We should stop trying to make money in the market and we should just get all riled up about it.
Yeah, I can't. But yesterday was more than enough for me.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Dude, go make your money. Don't worry. They're going to be cheating the system forever. It's always been that way. It ain't going to stop. Worry about yourself. Go make some money for yourself. Aren't we investing for one reason? Like, we have fun and we joke around and everything like that. But why the fuck are we here? We're here to make money. Like, that's all that matters.
All I'll say is people insider trading doesn't affect anybody else's money at all. You don't lose when they win. You don't win when they lose. It's got fucking nothing to do with you. So I would just ignore it. And the only way it affects people apparently is it makes them a little bit sad. From what I'm garnering.
You're gonna be sad every day. Sounds like a depressing life.
Other than that, it
happens every day. Every day. What do you say we do a little state of the markets? Talk about what's happened?
Yeah.
This before somebody's asking if we could do like a basket of animal health stocks. We have several times in the past, and we will again in the future. None of them are on trend right now. This would be a big outlier. So
right. So this is the relative strength. I'm telling you, the Ozempic for English bulldogs.
I don't think this theme is big enough. All right, maybe it is.
You want them fat. You want the bulldogs nice and plump, or they would be a lot less cute if they weren't so fat. They got to be fat. It's bulldogs.
I know, and fat babies are cute too. Fat babies are cute too, but there's a certain line that you can't cross where you got a fat ass baby. You got to, right?
JC,
Ozempic.
What?
Do babies take the Ozempic? You could do that.
No.
I hope not.
Okay.
Jesus.
JC, Bill says that Bloomberg wrote an article about Fibonacci retracements, and they did not quote you.
That's it happens.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Get all upset? I wrote about Fibonacci 2 years ago. How dare you not quote me? I could do that, I suppose. Or I could go try to look for opportunities to make money in the market.
All right, let's talk about
S&P's at a big level. That's
By the
what
way, if they did quote me, had they quoted me, they would have misquoted me, giving me another reason to be angry about it, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, let's be serious.
Cannot win. All right, let's talk about this stuff.
All right, Dow futures down 400 this morning.
Yeah.
That's 46,300. S&P 500 futures down 60 handles, close to 1%. 65.78, under 6,600 for S&Ps. NASDAQ 100 futures leading the way lower, down over 1%. Just above 24,000 for the NASDAQ 100 futures. 30-year bonds down again, down 0.5%. Back under 113 for the ZBs. You got crude oil up almost 5% at 94.5. Copper down 1% at 550. You got gold down 2.5%, 44.40. Silver down almost 7% today, 67.75, with the VIX still right under 28. VIX just under 28. So market pricing in about a check my math, 1.7, 1.8% move on a daily basis for the S&P 500. That's what that is pricing in right now. We got Bitcoin down 2,000 points. That's almost 3%. 69,300. 69,300. You got Ethereum. 2,070 down 4.5%. Solana 87. Back down to 87, down almost 5% on the day. That brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 2.35 trillion. What stands out from this morning's futures? Silver really getting the shit kicked out of it. Right?
So, sorry, I'm distracted. There was like a giant spider, and I'm trying to kill it, and I don't know where it went.
Are you scared of spiders?
No, I'm not scared. It just came down as you were talking, and I left to get the thing, and then now it's like not there, and I don't know.
I love how you have one of those handy.
I don't know where it went.
Hold on. Do you have a fly swatter like my grandmother?
Yeah, they're all around the house.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You have fly swatters all over your house?
There's like one upstairs, one downstairs. Yeah.
Dude, that is I haven't seen one of those. My grandmother always had one of those.
Okay. Well,
should I get fly swatters? I guess I don't have that many flies.
If I seem distracted today, this is why.
I guess in the summer they creep into the
They
crib.
come out. They come out in the spring.
They come out in the summer. Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, sorry. I did not hear a word you said.
I was talking about the futures. You got oil up 5%, silver down 6.5%. At the Oxford Club conference the other day, these are smart, educated folks, right? It was a good crowd. I wouldn't necessarily call this crowd contrarian or go with them. It's just I would look at it as a neutral, but just as a feedback. When I asked if they thought that gold was going to go higher between now and the end of the year, it's a crowd of 200, 300 people, something like that. They all raised their hand pretty much that gold was going to be higher between now and the end of the year. When I asked if oil was going to be higher between now and the end of the year, there weren't many hands being raised, right? So
you can't be surprised by that. I know you're not surprised by that. You might be pretending like you're surprised by that. You're not surprised by
this
that.
crowd tends to lean white, lean boomer. You know, there's exceptions to all that, right? Obviously, lean white, lean boomer, lean Republican. Like that's kind of that crowd. If that means anything, that's not necessarily good or bad. It's just what it is. You know,
it's a newsletter crowd. They're
dude.
It
leans male. It leans male, white, boomer, Republican.
Leans fear.
Leans fear? Nah, I don't think so.
A little bit.
Not this crowd. I don't think this crowd leans fear.
Gold and fear are the same thing. That's how they hook them on gold with the fear.
But
Part
no,
of it, yeah.
no. JC
fear
said
of what? Fear, a lot of fears though. A lot of different.
JC said they lean older, and that just means you're more sensitive because you have less time.
That's probably true.
So they're just more sensitive to volatility. They don't have decades to get their money back.
There's a couple of factors there. Number one,
right,
because it leans boomer, they have more money. So they have more money to lose potentially. So there's that. And then there's a timeline that they're closer to retirement or already there, right? Yeah. So there's two factors that are playing there. Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah. So okay.
So financials, are they going to dig in?
Did a lack of integrity cause the lost decade from 2000 to 2010, or did a global financial crisis cause that? I really think it was a lack of integrity. Everything just kind of moved on and was just fine after Enron and WorldCom.
People forget, like people like, are you guys like
what are you talking about?
Guys. The lost decade of 2000 to 2013 or whatever it was a very justified consolidation after the greatest phase of expansion in American history throughout the 80s and the 1990s. Like that's just how markets work. Guess what? After World War II, everybody came home. Everybody had jobs, houses. Everybody's having sex, making babies. It was a great time.
A lot of sex. A lot of sex in the lost decade.
The blues literally turned into rock and roll. Like that is facts only. You had the blues of the Great Depression, and then it turns into rock and roll. The 1950s are rocking, fantastic. You get into the 1960s. Guess what? You had nothing from the mid 60s until the early 80s. Oh, that's before the couple of decades before that were very good. So things got to relax, and they relax, and now we're moving on again. And ultimately, this phase higher will come to an end, and we'll have a longer consolidation. In my opinion, because that's what we've seen before. So that's what we should expect. I don't necessarily know that that's here now or that we're in it.
Good take.
The stock market made new all-time highs over the last couple months in many cases. So, put things in perspective. That's how I see it.
And I saw the flows chart from macro charts. Did you see that?
No, can you show me? What flows chart are they talking about?
Basically, outflows for everything, even things you wouldn't expect, and a record inflow for tech. I don't know if it was over the trailing month or trailing 3. I think trailing month.
Here, throw up slide 2.
One thing we've been spot on about recently is that tech would lead, right? It's been showing relative strength. It's just still not going up on an absolute basis because everything else has been bad or worse. But tech's been the best sector outside of energy for a while now. So there you go. Yeah. Anything here? Do we need Todd Sohn?
Or does this just say that B of A clients, they're either the smartest guys in the room or they're totally out to lunch? One or the other.
People are going to go back to tech stocks. They
Yeah.
go back to big techs. I think it's defensive right now.
Here, throw up the new slide 4. Refresh that. Throw up the new slide 4. So, record inflows for tech. But why don't you? What do you think of the ETFs accounting for 35% of trading volume over the past 3 weeks? They got up to 47% of volume. A lot of active shorting ETFs to reduce net exposure.
So wait, is this saying the trading volume is in the ETFs or the trading volume is a result of ETF creation redemption stuff? Is that,
you know what I think? I'd love to see the options data overlaid on this, because my suspicion is the options activity in these ETFs is probably off the charts. SPY and Qs in particular.
With this, I wouldn't overthink this data. It sounds like they're saying this is straight up ETF.
I don't think this is going to change, by the way.
Right.
Because the amount of liquidity, and now you got 0 DTE options on all these, major ETFs, I don't think this is going to go away. I think this liquidity is only going to get bigger and deeper, and just, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, as much as it is just a function of the evolution of markets.
Well, I go back to the analogy that like Sam Rowe made. He was talking about indexes, but the same, it can be applied to ETFs or it could be applied to options too, which is that, like it's all derivative, but it's kind of like saying, okay, so there's infinitely more recipes than there are ingredients. Okay, so what? Right? So what? That's not a sign of a bubble or anything like that. It's just,
there's a zillion mutual funds too.
Yeah.
And I just think that there's always going to be people trying to figure out how to give investors things that they want, or things that they think they want, or things that they hope investors might want. That's just what it is. Some will hit, some won't, but they're just going to keep giving them shit.
You know
what?
That's
for sure.
I'll tell you what this,
and liquidity is going to only get deeper. You think there's going to be less liquidity in the market moving forward, or more liquidity?
I'll tell you what this top bullet point is saying. This top bullet point, all it says is, hey, did you guys know there's like a shit ton of new leveraged and inverse single stock instruments out there that you can buy in like ETF or ETN form? That's all this is saying, right? These we were in like a giant, I don't know if we're still there, but we were in like a bubble of these new instruments coming out for the last like year plus, like year or two, and you guys all know that,
I don't
right?
think so. I'd love to see a breakdown of which ETFs that liquidity is in, right? And I would venture to say that the liquidity is in those monsters and not those new ones that you're talking about. I don't think you're not wrong, but I don't think that's making a dent. But I think it's bigger on the liquid ones. And if you overlay options, I would bet my ass that those options chart looks just like this, probably even more.
By the way, Rick had a good line yesterday in Slack. He goes, if you want to sound smart on FinTwit, just say liquidity. I don't think anyone knows what liquidity even is, but just say it.
When I'm talking about liquidity, when I say liquidity, I say that whenever I buy options on SPY or Qs, I don't enter limit orders. That is liquidity.
Yeah, that would be a sign of a liquid market.
How do you like that, Strazza?
Yeah, if you could use market orders on an options contract, is that what you're saying?
It would be those two.
You could do it on some things, but it's just super rare. You could do it on like Mag 7 stocks, even sometimes. If you hit like the monthlies. Yeah. But the vast 99% of the time, you're going to have to work your orders a little bit, unfortunately. You should.
But that, when Spencer's talking about what is liquidity, I think that's a good example. What is liquidity? Liquidity is when you don't need to answer limit orders. That's plenty of liquidity.
That's a sign of liquidity, sure.
Yeah, tight spreads. Somebody was saying on the internet yesterday about how there's this big Tesla unusual options activity. Somebody was buying deep out of the money calls. I don't know what it was. And they said this is absolute insanity. Options are so misunderstood by the masses, and most of the I would say authority figures in options trading have a very academic mindset about options, where they're doing all these complex strategies. They're trying to basically game the pricing of these different instruments. They're selling a lot of premium. They got 18 legs on, right? And they're doing a ton of math and talking about Greek things. If you buy a deep out of the money fucking call a couple weeks out, okay, it doesn't even matter how out of the money. I'm talking, this could be 10, 15 delta. Okay, crazy town. If Tesla's up 5% today, what do you think happens to those calls? People are like, this is never going to be in the money. Your options never have to be in the money to make money. Does that make sense?
It's a great line.
So you can go to a 10 delta, something that's insane that might never be in the money. You get a quick pop there, 1 or 2 big up days. Those options could be up 2, 3x. That's what people are doing, right? So everybody's so confused. Oh, is this a hedge? What kind of hedge is this? They're just putting money in the incinerator? No. Watch the prices of those options. If the stock's up big today, they could be out. It's just a quick trade. So,
all right. If you're buying crazy out of the money options, you're probably putting your money in the incinerator, right?
No. See, no. See, that's spoken very well by someone who knows nothing about options. Thanks, Spencer, for making my point. No, that's not true at all. What do you think that you have to hold options to expiration and they have to be in the money to make money?
No.
It's just like a stock. You buy it one day, sell it the next. It doesn't ever have to get in the money. They could go up a ton with a low delta even if the stock's up a lot. And you could buy hundreds if you're buying a low delta. They'll be very cheap or much cheaper than the others. So it is a strategy. Some people who understand options and are willing to take the risk are happy to do these kinds of things. I might know a guy who does shit like this. I know a guy, okay? And it does work. It works really well sometimes if you know what you're doing. But options never have to be in the money to make you a ton of money.
Great line. Great quote right there. I like it. No?
Chat's funny. All right.
You know that yesterday was the 12-year anniversary of me meeting my wife at a Business Insider event.
Really? 12 years. Good
12
for
years
you
ago.
guys.
12 years ago, me, Josh Brown, Michael Batnick, and Joe Fahmy went to a bar.
And Jim Chanos.
And Jim Chanos, actually, too. Well, we met him there later, but yeah, he was there also. And that's where I met my wife 12 years ago.
Wow. You doing something nice for your anniversary? You're gonna take her to a nice restaurante?
We're going
Couples massage.
We're going out this weekend.
Where you going?
Steakhouse.
New York City?
Poconos.
Nice. Sounds lovely. Good for you guys. 12 years, a long time. I don't know how she's done it.
God bless her. God bless her. You know,
insider dating.
So that's what's going on in my life. Listen, we got a great show today. So we got Shawnee, we got Weitzel coming in on a Thursday. I like it.
I told Stephen Weitzel I would have an extra shot of espresso so that I'm all the best energy for him.
They have like a golf relationship. They have like their bromance is on a different level.
I know I got to call him today and see like what kind of attire he was rocking in Vegas. Because I'm not sure what to pack.
Like, so, you don't dress like you're going golfing. Like, this isn't Connecticut, all right?
No,
this is Las Vegas.
That restaurant that you recommended said I got to wear pants.
Pants is encouraged.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're in Vegas. You look good, man.
I wear flip-flops all day. I could go anywhere in flip-flops.
Dude,
okay?
Don't be one of these people that you see in Times Square, okay?
Shoes.
Right? Look nice. Look presentable. Like Morgan would say, speaking of my wife, she would say, you look like you're poor. Why do you dress like you're so poor? You're not poor.
But like I follow this Instagram called, it's like people of the casinos. Nobody's dressed nice in casinos. They all look homeless.
Dude,
and then you tell me
you're gonna be out there with your girl. You're gonna be out there with your girl. It gives her an opportunity to dress nice. She's gonna dress nice.
I know that.
Girls like that shit. So
yeah,
like she's gonna dress nice and you're gonna be in sweatpants looking like a bum. No, man.
She went shopping yesterday. She's so excited about dressing nice. I'm probably gonna wear.
See how I know these ladies.
Yeah,
I know.
We'll be all right. I got linen pants. Ain't wearing them. Those are my Miami man pants.
All right, quick programming announcement before we bring on Mr. Kenny Glick is we talked yesterday on the show with Jason Perez about commodities and commodity stocks. Jason's going live today at 2:00. Normally he goes live on YouTube. We're not going to be doing the YouTube stream today. It's going to be just on allstarcharts.com. So the link is on the screen, allstarcharts.com/bonanza-stocks. It's going to be, it is a free link, free event, but it's only going to be on All Star Charts. You have to use that link to get the video, and it'll be recorded, obviously, if you are unable to be there live. But Jason's going to talk all about his strategy for finding commodity stocks before they rip higher, and we know they can rip higher in a big way when they do. So that'll be today at 2 o'clock. Jason Purrs. I'll be there as well, actually. Fun fact. But I'm not the main attraction. Jason Purrs is, of course. So today at 2 o'clock, use that link, get the watch link, and see how Jason does what he does, because he is a pro. He is a pro. So that's what I wanted to announce before. Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Hold on, Kenny is slacking me right now. What is he saying?
Kenny's in Iceland.
Kenny's back.
Oh, I thought he had to stay for an extra day.
No, Kenny. Yeah, Kenny is back. Kenny, I think, had like a, I don't know if near death is the right term, near death experience, but it was close to, it was like in the same realm of like a near death experience. And
live event is today, by the way, Spencer, right? It says live event tomorrow. It's today.
Oh, it does say tomorrow. It is today. Sorry about that. Good catch, JC.
It's Thursday, which is today. Today's Thursday.
Shout out to Thursday. More Bears and Bulls once again on the AAII. We get a new Economist magazine cover today. Should be dropping any minute. Any thoughts on what we're going to see on the Economist today?
Nope.
Another exploding chart, perhaps?
They've been really positive vibes from them lately.
Dude, you think it's going to be another war cover? Gotta be, right?
How depressing. Do you think they got bars on their windows like at the IRS so that people don't jump? I mean, you must just be chronically depressed to work at The Economist and just read all of this bad, sad news all the time, every day, just nonstop. They just keep hitting you with it.
Yeah, but when they get optimistic, that's a great, when they get giddy.
Well, it's just that every day there's more headlines. Like today, the headline is like there's these conditions now, these 5 conditions that Iran has allegedly released, that they won't end the war until these 5 things, as if they're going to be the ones that decide when the war ends. But like it's every day, it's posturing and headlines. It's noise. It's all headlines are always noisy. They're especially noisy now, like when this is all going on. So, yeah, it's impossible. I don't blame like the magazines for wanting to cover it, because that's what they.
I don't blame magazines. I don't blame magazines for not trying to help investors and instead get people to buy their magazines. They're in the business of selling magazines.
Yeah.
So they're doing what they think is best for them, as they should. It's for us, we're not in the business of selling magazines. We're in the business of finding opportunities in the market to make money. So if these magazine people think that it's their job to give the people what they want, and if everybody's talking about something, they're going to give them that. They're going to feed into that beast. For us as investors, it's great to recognize what the best in the world at recognizing what people are thinking. The journalists are the best in the business. What their results are. This is what everybody's thinking. That's why they're putting it on the cover of the magazine, right? It's not a knock on them. It's not like they're just a representation, a great representation of the investor sentiment, human sentiment, consumer sentiment.
I love that. And I think there's 2 big stories this week that they could use. That's the AI traders, the chip smugglers. The chip smugglers is a big one.
No, that's too. Yeah. You're in the weeds, bro.
And the Trump trading.
That's like thin, bro.
So
stuff.
They'll do the Trump trading then.
Trump trading. I don't know if I'd give him enough time.
They need more time.
They might need more time.
Tom Brady's coming back. Twitter told me yesterday that Michael Jordan's going to be the next coach of the Tar Heels, but all Twitter does is lie to me these days.
Man?
No,
he wouldn't doing that.
He would never.
Like you're Michael Jordan, you're a billionaire. Now this is you gotta really want to be a coach. Like this isn't something you can half-ass. You're the coach of UNC basketball.
He should call Bill Belichick
and see how that worked out for him.
All right, Kenny sadly will not be joining us today. I thought he would be. Apologies. So you'll have to just kind of wait. Well, maybe tomorrow he'll be back.
I'll go make my espresso.
Sorry about that, everyone. We'll have to wait one more day. to hear from Kenny. But you know who we do have lurking backstage? We do have Steven Weitzel here.
I love that we're getting a Steven Weitzel surprise on a Thursday. I like that.
A minute to like get his camera in order and all that, but he is here, so we'll bring on Weitzel. We'll bring on Sean. Can we just talk about a few more like actual charts? I know we have the beat report. We haven't done beat report in a couple of days because the earnings flow has been
throw those up. Those are great charts.
Pretty quiet. Well, yeah, I want to give Steve a chance to get his coffee, but we do have or not.
I love that it's called the beat drop.
Yeah, that's what we called it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, can you bring up the table back up? And we can just rip through these beat report charts real fast. So this is from, again, these are recent reports, and then this is the report plus the reaction to the report. So these reports are now a couple days old. So we got paychecks, we got Cintas. So can we start with the paychecks? Right, that was a double beat. Oh, double beat, and it's right there. How is it? Right how is that happening?
If it was ever gonna bounce, it would have to be here, right? Not saying it will, because if it does it, then it's never gonna do it, right? So here we are, right under 93 right now. It's right there. I mean, if it was ever gonna go,
dude, it's right at the midpoint of the range from yesterday when it reported. So like the if you include the pre-market, the range was like 89 to 96, and it's freaking right in the middle of that range. So market was like, all right, we'll just take the high and the low and stay at the middle.
And then look at that resistance from COVID. We're right there, dude. Right there. And then throw up the Cintas.
Yeah, that one popped off the open and then gave it all back, and then some. So, not a great reaction there.
Cintas, huh?
This is Staples, right?
This one's nasty.
Is Cintas a staple or is it like industrial? I think it might be industrial.
What is it? SNTS?
CTAS.
CTAS.
Yeah. I think it's in. I don't know what this is.
It is an industrial business services.
Yeah, business stuff.
Yeah, business. Yeah. It's one of those that like when they don't know what to do with it, they throw it in industrials. Yeah, look at this, faculty services, first aid, safety services, uniform rentals.
Yeah. All that professional.
So like this is a great example of guys when you think about industrials, like it's not just machines and railroads and stuff. Like there's like staffing companies and like management companies, and then all the garbage men are in there too, like waste management and stuff like that. Industrials is like the most diversified group. Like we laugh and we call it like the catch-all. Like when they don't know where to put it, they just throw it into industrials. Right, Strazza?
Yeah, you never see the Cintas trucks driving around?
No, I do. Yeah.
Maybe.
So by the way, Strazza, I heard that you are in the process of putting together the earnings season in retrospective from the beat report. Is that true?
We do a quarterly report, a free report for the world about everything you need to know every earnings season. And what we do is we lock down the universe. We're focusing on the S&P 500 because you got to focus on something. You got to pick a universe. We lock it down at the end of earnings season or close to the end of earnings season. We got about 2 weeks here until JP Morgan. So that should be out early next week. And we're spotlighting healthcare, energy, and some others.
How does one get that?
You sign up for the Beat Daily.
The Daily Beat. Can you throw up that link? Strazza, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you go on that riff? There it is. Sign up for that, and Strazza will send it to you. Can you go on the riff, guys? You got to hear this. This is so good. Can you go on the riff where your report is so much better and it comes faster and it's more timely than the other one? FactSet? Is it FactSet?
I grew up in an industry where this FactSet report would come out 4 times a year, and then they come out with it a couple more times than that. They update it throughout earnings season, but there's a huge lag there for when they lock it down and finally release it. But this thing goes around hedge funds, broker dealers, and everybody's talking about it and looking at it. So by design, our report is better. we designed our report to be better and more timely than the fact set report. So if you love the fact set report, first of all, they don't pay attention to technicals at all. They're going to highlight industries and sectors that are just not on trend at all. We are incorporating not just a little bit of trend analysis, but also sentiment analysis, the earnings sentiment analysis. We're not just telling you who beat, who raised guidance, and we do all that analysis by sector, by industry group. We'll show you the percentages. Throw up some of these pie charts to show people. We have some images at the end of the deck, Spencer, that are going to be in the quarterly beat. So they're only focusing on fundamentals. We're telling the story from a different lens. We're talking about the fundamentals. This percentage of companies put out double beats, but then we're also saying this is the earnings sentiment around those double beats, right? So sometimes you'll see 70% of the sector double beats, but only 40% of the sector moves higher, right? So we're looking for those little dislocations and then overlaying some trend analysis. There are price charts in it too. So it's just fantastic. It's going to be like 75 pages long. Yeah, so we do stuff like this. And we'll also talk about how they react, right? If you go to like one of the bar charts, it'll show you all the reactions for a sector. Really, just really, really quality stuff here.
I like all the respect that you're showing FactSet. When we were talking about this on the phone the other day, you weren't as... No, that was good. That was a good explanation. No, I hope you guys understand the difference. What Strazza's doing is that he's focusing on what the market thinks about that release versus FactSet is just giving you the numbers. Like there's a market reaction, a sentiment component to this that's added to this. And it comes faster than FactSet. Right?
Yeah. The FactSet report's all about whether they beat or they missed.
Yes.
And that they take that as if it's like the law of the land. And and it's not the law of the land.
So you're going to get all the same charts you're used to seeing in FactSet, plus some more that give you better color into what's really going on with these earnings trends.
Listen, I'm with Billy Cunningham. Billy, the move is you take the report that Strazza sends you at 75 pages, and then you put it into the Claude and be like, yo, Claude, I ain't reading this. Give me the goods.
It's image heavy. There's almost no words. Very few words.
All pictures. It's all pictures, Billy. But listen, you gotta use the machines. Let the machine. You don't want to read it. Guess what? I don't want to fucking read it either. So we're gonna give it to the machine.
There's a couple charts on a page, Billy. You would love it. You love it.
It's fine. It's all pictures.
Hey,
all right.
Look, here's the thing about earnings. It's not always how it appears out there. It's not always how it appears. We particularly like it when a sector comes out and kind of shits the bed, a lot of misses, right? A very, very low percentage of double beats, and then really, really good reaction percentages. That's where we're laser focused. We're looking at that in both directions. And you get some sort of situation like that almost every quarter. Like I said, there's going to be more on healthcare soon. Healthcare is an interesting one.
Plus,
energy. People are talking about how energy stocks are going up because of the war. First of all, they were going up long before the war started. And more than half of the sector is double beating. The earnings there have been phenomenal. And the price spike in crude oil wasn't factored in at all last quarter. Didn't exist, right? However, the fundamental performance for energy companies off the charts, right? Steadily been improving out here for several quarters. So I think that's a big trend that definitely has legs, and the earnings reflect that.
Plus, if you on Jeff Mackey's show yesterday, he was talking about sort of what he does in environments like this, where, like, frankly, their earnings don't really matter. It's all about the macro. That the macro is everything. And now you're going to get these companies that have to come out, like Carnival reports earnings, I think, on Friday. They're going to have to come out and like pontificate on what they think like oil will do, as if they know, right, what oil will do and how it's going to. I mean, they know how it'll affect their business, but they don't know what oil will do. I mean, no one does, right? So, basically his message was like, just step back, right? Just do less, because the earnings in a war environment aren't that relevant. Maybe they are in a quieter environment or in the long term, some people would say, but now they're really not. So if you happen to report earnings on a shit day when we're bombing some country, tough. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Austin says he's disappointed because he thought that the beat report would be a magic bullet prediction service. Oh, I'm sorry that you thought that.
I wish that were true. Hey, we got White's holding the house. I want to bring him out.
Pretty nasty failed breakdown in the Canada, eh?
Failed breakout or breakdown?
Down.
A lot of energy.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Mr. White Soul.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How we
What a
doing,
lovely
boys?
surprise to see you here on a Thursday.
You know what? The pleasure's mine.
You know, I'm
It's
going
really
to a
a
golf
privilege to
course.
be
I'm going
here.
to a golf course in an hour.
Not to
Really?
play golf, just to be clear.
Not to play golf. I'm meeting
Are you
Rachel.
going? You're going for brunch?
I figured just have some coffee, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm going to look at a golf
it's
course.
still a little chilly where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, for girly, man.
All right. Well, look, I've gotten to the point now where like if it's much below 60 degrees, like I don't know how interested I am.
And what's your top line? How hot do you go?
I'll play as hot as you want to play.
Okay, got it. See, I'm
Buddy,
the
when
opposite.
it's-
I'd rather it be a little cooler.
No, when
I don't
it's
want to be
hot,
out there sweating bullets like a maniac, like Strazza in Key West.
I don't mind it.
No, when it's hot, the ball's jumping. We're hitting bombs. You'll find me there,
Yeah.
right?
Don't you like
When
a
it's
nice
cold-
Don't you like playing golf and air conditioning? Right? Like I like that.
No.
All right.
I got invited to do that the other day, and I was like, it just doesn't sound that fun. One of those
Talking about
bars,
the indoor stuff,
like,
the
like a full
yeah.
simulation round. I was like, I'm
so-
not ready for that.
You know, it's my experience with those. It's so weird because like you can get like some decent measurables, with something like a driver or something like that. But when it comes to like you're trying to hit a wedge or something like that, I feel like at least the simulators that you play a lot of these games in, like they're okay, but they're not that good. And so they never actually give you an accurate reflection of how far I'm supposed to hit this wedge.
Well, it's got to be like the elevation issue, right? Like, how do you?
You guys see, I told you guys they have this different bromance going on with the golf thing. See, I was telling the audience earlier.
We'll talk offline, Steve. I got Vegas questions for both of you, really.
Hey, so Weitzel, I love you and everything, and you're always welcome. But why the surprise appearance on the Thursday morning show? I love it. Welcome. You're always welcome to do this. Curious what's on your mind.
I appreciate it. Well, listen, we're just we're just giving a little plug for the show later today, 10 a.m. We're going to be on the $1 million question. We're going to be talking about Wall Street's potential latest ploy.
New show.
We're going to be talking about the concept of tax alpha. And
taxes.
Is this
taxes, Steve?
Well, this is going to be one, buddy, where we may want to be a little skeptical.
Oh.
So I think that investors always need to think twice about what Wall Street is selling them. And because remember, like the CDOs were good, the private credit was really good. This tax alpha thing isn't something where you're going to blow up, but it's we're going to talk about maybe reasons that you need to be skeptical of why this is something that is getting pushed so hard now.
Yeah, was the private credit really, was it that good? Was it actually good?
As it turns out, it wasn't, but they were telling you that it was good.
Yeah, and you know what, they were telling you this was an exclusive opportunity.
Yeah,
for
lucky boy.
This is what the wealthy people are doing.
Huh.
And
did you have to be accredited for that or no?
No, I mean you do, but like accredited investor is something that is, in the 1950s to be an accredited investor was one thing. In 2026, like there are a lot of accredited investors out there. And so many of these products have been democratized. And the democratized, JC, is a fancy word meaning sold to you. That's what
I
it
see
means.
what you're saying. Yeah, I don't like it when you use big words. It makes me feel dumb.
I know. Well, that's why
appreciate the explanation.
That's why I translated it for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Steve, what do you think about these tops? Throw them up.
Look,
tops on.
Hold on.
So,
Can we just reiterate? Weitzel wearing a nice Masters gear there. Weitzel has an entire closet dedicated only to Masters gear. I just want to make sure that the rest of the world is and just thinks it's as ridiculous as I think it is.
Big gear.
But I did learn, this is true. I did learn that in the state of Georgia, it is perfectly acceptable to wear Masters gear to dinner,
Yeah.
to church,
Yeah.
to the gym, to Chick-fil-A. It is
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable and even encouraged. So
It's a bit of a flex.
Yeah, I mean, it's so the further away from the epicenter that you get, apparently, it's a stronger flex.
yeah, it's douchier the further away. Yeah, for sure.
Is it the? I mean, so listen, I just am who I am, But like, I'm in Wyoming this past summer, and I've got my Masters hat on, and everybody's like, "Oh man, like, hey, have you been?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I've been." It's a regular thing. Speaking of, so we've got the Masters coming up. So half of my show today, after I'm done talking about this ploy from Wall Street around the tax alpha thing, I'm going to be giving people a little insight on Augusta National. If you're going to the Masters, if you know somebody who's going to the Masters and it's their first time and they want to know, like, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
It's like going to Disney World. Like, if you've never been to Disney World, and you can just get lost in there, right? So
you gotta
I'm
have
going
a
to give you
plan.
the hack.
You gotta have a plan.
You got to have a plan, JC. You
have
know
a
I've
whole
got a
system.
plan.
Yeah.
There's
I've got
nobody in the world that I would listen to about this shit. Stephen Weitzel, all the do's and don'ts, the whens.
Yeah, we'll have you
Yeah.
on next
100%.
month for a special How-To Masters edition of the morning show.
Yes. Well, I do have a special question that I need to ask, right? So, so this year, so I'm going Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Ooh, not Sunday.
Right. Not Sunday. I'm not a Masters Sunday guy at the Masters because I want to watch on TV.
Okay.
Right.
All right, sure.
I want to watch on TV. But here's the deal. I've got one ticket available for Saturday, and I want to know if Mr. Steve Strazza wants to be on that ticket on Saturday for the Masters this year.
Really?
That's the question. That's the $1 million question on the morning show right now. We need an answer right now.
You need an answer. That answer
buddy.
better be fucking yes.
Done.
Wow,
They
Steve
were wondering.
Strazza going to the Masters.
They were wondering in the chat this morning.
Hey,
If you
Strazza,
don't
can you
invite
take
me.
a selfie on the second hole with Weitzel? No, you cannot do that. Actually, no, you
cannot.
You cannot.
I'll be there, brother.
No cell phones, but Mr. Steve Strazza
Masters.
going to the Masters on
Strazza's going to the
Saturday
Masters.
with yours truly.
Wow.
We're doing
Wow.
it. Me and you, babe.
Boom.
I'm in.
I thought about making like, I see Josh in the chat. I thought about making like a prom proposal sign.
Will you go with me?
I never thought you'd ask.
Steve, will you go with me to the Masters?
This will be fun. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thanks, bro.
Steve
I'll bet.
Strazza, lifelong dream to go to the Masters.
Big bucket list. Yeah.
Big bucket list item. Dude.
Yeah.
Are you going to take him to Chick-fil-A on the way there like you did for me?
I mean, we stop by Chick-fil-A every morning. Like, it doesn't matter if we're going to the Masters or if we're not going to the Masters, right? We need the Lord's provision in our life, the Lord's chicken every day. And so whether we're going to work or we're going to the Masters, that's where we're going.
This is a topic we might disagree on. I think you're doing a lot of Chick-fil-A, maybe too much Chick-fil-A,
No,
based on
buddy,
the text
no.
messages you're sending me. All right.
No, it is so good. It is
Never-
He
so
only
good.
eats one side of the biscuit, though. That's his hack.
That's Pearl.
No,
and
we're
Pearl.
gonna let you in on this one later, JC. But anyway,
Great.
no, I'm super excited, Steve. We're gonna coordinate logistics, but it is gonna be quite an experience. So we're gonna cross our fingers. Good weather, and we don't want it to get too warm
No.
between now and then. Okay.
Okay.
So
Cool.
we're gonna be about 80 degrees today here in the Atlanta area. So we really want to see some cooler weather between now and the first full week of April. That way we're going to have these blooms that hold in, and then we just want the crescendo for when we're there. So anyway,
Yeah, that's what we want. We're looking for the crescendo. And then so that's really, really cool. I'm looking forward to hearing the stories from you guys. What all right, so give it to us. What about what tops?
Throw them up. Throw up the tops. Weitzel and I had a discussion a couple weeks ago. We were talking about some big levels in emerging markets and elsewhere, but you got some
still holding, by the way, still holding.
Yep.
In the EM.
If you look at that list of potential tops, the Bears are kind of scoring points, right? I wouldn't call this a decisive breakdown by any means, but we're below that big level in the NASDAQ. If you look at tech, we're close. We're sitting right there. Small caps dug in at a big level. And then you got the S&P 500. Do we have the S&P top here? Well, that's all right. That kind of works. 650. 650.
Yeah.
Big level. What do you think? Do you get more cautious below there?
Look, so I've been cautious on S&Ps for a long time because of the growth concentration in that index. And so, I think that the S&P is really just getting what it deserves over the last 6 months, 8 months or so. You've got this just kind of long consolidation that's happening there because a lot of these tech names whose valuations I think had gotten out in front of themselves, great companies as they may be, but we're starting to see that, I think, come home to roost. And so we certainly need to be mindful about playing defense always. The opportunities have been elsewhere. And so, I still think the setups are cleaner in things like emerging markets. They're still cleaner, I think, in small caps. Some of the value names, obviously, we've talked a lot about energy. And so, we've got a lot of upside targets getting hit in energy, as far as I'm concerned, on some of these individual names. So, still some, still need to be mindful of playing defense. But I think on some of these indices, some of these names, it's because they're not holding support. Others are because they're achieving upside objectives.
I can't help but think about this when it's like still holding. That's
the emerging market index right there.
Yeah, transports and small caps too.
I think we still haven't gotten the big decision in terms of the broader market's next direction, right? You got a big up day, no follow through, a big down day, no follow through, another tweet and a big up day, no follow through. And you look back, we're in the same place we were a month ago in a lot of these indexes, or slightly lower in the case of something like the S&P or NASDAQ.
So is that a good thing because they stopped going down, or is this just a bear flag and the next leg's coming?
I think tech's going to tell you a lot here. Tech has been the strongest sector. Forget energy. It's not going to tell you anything about the broader market, obviously. Tech digs in. Do we have the tech top? This is the big one that I think needs to hold. The broader averages or indexes will follow. Do we have XLK? Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's a money chart right there. That's the one. Same place as what? January? Early February? First week of February? 2 months. Just sitting here. So, Steven?
I'm here. Can you hear me, buddy?
Monster top or just a consolidation?
We're back.
The outperformance from high beta over the last couple of weeks relative to low volatility is interesting because the lines look exactly the same.
And I like what Yosel's saying in the chat. Like, the Bears are running out of time, yo. He says, this is their moment to take out some of these big levels, you would think, right? All these nasty headlines, a lot of volatility. Like, you would think the Bears could score more points here in this messy market, and they're scoring some, but it's marginal progress at best.
Yeah, so I posted about that on the Twitter the other day, talking about emerging markets, that if the and we're kind of back down there again this morning, that if the Bears can't breach through that 07 high in emerging markets, I would think that they would be approaching some sort of exhaustion as far as selling is concerned. And that's exactly what you would want to see. You got the, you got the breakout, the throwback retest, and you dig in. That's the mulligan that if you didn't take the, that in the S&Ps in 2013, mulligan, right? JC, did you watch the show where I went deep into the annals of the All-Star Charts blog, right? And I talked about when in April, May of 2013, when you wanted to be bearish because you wanted that feeling again that you got, from being short banks in 07.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He brought up a blog that you wrote 13 years ago.
Yeah. No, I remember it well.
I mean, I got it in here. But that was one where you had the breakout and you thought, hey, this isn't going to hold. But it did. And then we're fighting trends if we're not aligned with that uptrend in S&Ps at that point. They were breaking out on a relative basis, on an absolute basis at that point in time. We've got such similar action in EM right now, and people are getting spooked out of it because of what's happening in Iran. But as I reminded people on my show a couple weeks ago, the last time that we saw sustained outperformance from foreign markets, it was during the Iraq War, 2003 through 2007. I don't, when did it end? But just because we have this conflict going on over there doesn't mean that these regions can't outperform. Don't forget that.
Love it.
Hey, Shawnee, baby.
Tell me more about the anals that you were in.
I thought the same thing. Hey, Weitzel, what's happening, buddy?
Buddy, how are you?
Hey, I'm glad to hear you're taking Strazza to the Masters, because that's not my jam. I'm saving the Steve Weitzel invitation for Georgia Tech outing. That's the real outing I'm looking forward to. So thank you in advance for that.
Well, so
there's definitely Chick-fil-A there.
Well, so this is impromptu, okay? But look, Shawnee, baby, you know that the Buffaloes are opening their season on the flats here in Atlanta. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Oh, here we go. Listen,
Wow.
Sean, I know you're in Boulder, right? Now, I know that you go to some Buffalo games.
I do.
But if you are interested in traveling to Atlanta on Friday, September the 3rd,
we got to have this guy on the show more. We got to have him on.
Everyone's getting invites.
Guys, let's check the tape. Let's check the tape. I believe it is Friday, September 3rd. That's the opener. Shawnee, baby, if you want to come to the game,
you got to go.
Daddy's got you. Daddy's got you.
I'm writing it down on my calendar right now. Friday, September 3rd. I'm in.
Friday, September 3rd, you're in. Boom.
All right. Excellent. I'm glad I popped in.
What a special guest appearance.
What a special day. What a
was.
special
Wow.
day. So many invites.
Just wow. What a guy.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Look,
Steven,
you try to give where you can, boys. You try to give where you can.
by the way,
We
Steven,
appreciate you.
I love what you're doing with all this this tax stuff. This is important stuff. This has become so important for me over the last couple of years. And so everyone, you should be tuning into what Steven's doing, because this is important stuff.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And he, at least he makes it fun, because this could be some boring, lame shit. You know what I mean? So, but it's good.
It's still boring, to be clear, but it's
it's I don't think I make it any more exciting.
I think you do. I think you turn I think first of all, the exciting part is getting to keep more of your money. So that actually is exciting. But the explanations and stuff could be way worse.
There's no bigger expense in your life. So if you don't care about taxes, if you're not being mindful and thoughtful about your tax situation, what are you thinking? It's your biggest expense. Nobody likes paying it. We all want to pay
100%.
Stephen Weitzel knows how to do that. Boom.
Look, the government doesn't make it easy for a reason, but it doesn't mean that you can't be doing these things, taking advantage of them. but it's nuanced. And so you just need somebody to show you how to do it. And so, we'll talk about that a little more as we get into April, get into tax day, especially for you business owners out there. We'll probably do a reboot of my tax shelter workshop for business owners, because you business owners out there, right, you could have filed right on the 15th of March, but you've got all the way up until the 15th of September. So if you're still looking for ways to shelter income from your 2025 return, it isn't too late as a business owner. So I can talk about that more in some of our subsequent shows. So tune in for that.
Beautiful.
Stephen Weitzel.
All right, boys. I'll
Appreciate
see everybody at 10.
See you, Steven.
10.
Good luck.
See you guys.
You guys should
All right,
be
bye.
there. You guys should be there. It is
Later.
really good.
Love that guy. Love that guy, Steve Weitzel.
Man, Steve Strazza going to the Masters. Shawnee going to college football game. Everybody seems to be winning. Strazza's gonna have a good time, man. That Masters, particularly with Weitzel, who knows the ins and outs out of that place, dude. It's crazy. He's gonna enjoy that.
Hey, before we hop, Sean, how any takeaways from being amongst the 1,000-year-old trees in the forest?
Oh man,
for a few days?
too many to list here in this short time. But
Okay.
I will tell you that time spent away from the screens, time spent in nature, one of the best investments you can make in your trading and in yourself. I'll tell you that right now.
What about from a
Unbelievable
market
thing.
perspective? What you think about that you can give us?
Well, I'll tell you that it was really good to be away from all the noise, to be away from all the war headlines and all the shit. And I never felt happier to be an options trader, specifically an options trader, not just a trader, but an options trader, because I've got a lot of positions on, I've got a lot of risk on, but I'm diversified. I'm about 52% long, 48% short. But it's all defined risk. And so these gyrations that were happening in the market every day, I mean, every day I turn on my computer, we're either, up 0.5% or down 0.5% or more in the markets. And that can be very taxing on anybody who is an equity trader, a futures trader, anyone who has, risk that, could get blown through. As an options trader, I don't have that. And I'll tell you, I was never more appreciative and more grateful for it than I was on this trip, knowing that, hey, I'm good. Market can do whatever the hell it's going to do. I'm good. So how about that?
Pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Hey, let's get out of here. Okay. Weitzel's going live at 10 for the $1 million question, talking all about tax alpha. What even is that? And is it just marketing? So that's going to happen next. Sean is live today, 3:00 for the jam session. Louie's live tonight at 9 for Crypto After Dark. And then don't forget, 2:00, Jason Purr is going live to tell you about his quote-unquote bonanza stocks. I'll put the link up on the screen one more time. Here it is. Jason Purr and myself today live at 2 Eastern. Let's get out of here. I still haven't found the spider I need to kill, so I'm going to go do that. Everyone, go make some money responsibly, always, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right?
Peace.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.